to another episode of Screenwriting with the Newbie. I'm Danielle Wilcox. Glad to see you all again. So, thank you first to those of you who commented on this week's episode. It's so nice to get feedback. People are finally starting to watch. So this week, I want to talk to you about the social aspect of screenwriting. Just like it's so good to get feedback back on the blog, it's good to get feedback in person on your writing. And it can be kind of scary, you know. You have crafted this thing, it's your little baby, and you're about to hand it to somebody else to critique. You kind of feel like, oh no, not my baby, don't hurt it. But in the end, what usually ends up happening is they make your story stronger. In my particular case, I actually joined some groups and went to some events for screenwriters that didn't require me to have completed a finished work, because as I've said, Lazarus is not done. I did have some short films that I could take, but for the first event that I went to, and the second wasn't needed. So the event that I went to last week was the Atlanta Screenwriters Anonymous meeting. It was a great meeting because there was actually a good number of people there, not too large, so it was still, you know, good feedback. It was enough people there to have a table read and for additional people to still be on the audience to make comments. And I got some great ideas about character development, which pretty much goes on to last week's episode of Screenwriting with the Newbie. So there's a couple of different ways you will collaborate and share your work. You can either go to like a local meeting like that. You can submit your work to a contest, preferably one that does have script feedback, so you can, you know, the details about where your script might need some additional work, what's working and what's not. And those are the two main options besides the actual pitching process. And you can find a local group in your area, and one of the ways you can find one of those groups is just by Googling it. The internet is out there, and there is a national group if you're looking for national support. It's called the ISA, the International Screenwriters Association, and that group actually sends you jobs that you can submit to all over the world if you want to write shorts for filmmakers or commercials or whatever kind of job they have on there at that time. So I thought that was kind of cool. You didn't have to go anywhere, you just had to submit to it for a position. Another way to submit work is through contests. Contests usually have an entry fee, but a lot of them are free for submitting scripts. Most of them aren't free for submitting your film, but I found a lot of them that were free for submitting your script. And the two main sites I saw to do that on were withoutabox.com, so that's withoutabox.com, and also filmfreeway.com. So film and freeway, like zoom down the street.com. So aside from submitting to a contest option and submitting via the ISA option, I kind of think if you're a newbie like me, start with the local meeting. There's something about the personal feedback, even though everybody in that room may be either on the same level as you or maybe slightly higher. There are some drop-in experts that come along, and even the regular people in the room, I said the regular people, but I mean, these are the people you're writing for. Your audience is going to be people who want to watch a movie. So anybody is an opportunity for you to get feedback. You want to share your work. Let the baby go. Let the baby get better and bigger and stronger by going to go visit with Auntie so-and-so and Screenwriter Joe. So there's 3 main options I found here in Atlanta, which is where I live. ATL. I had to get ghetto for a second. But anyways, those 3 main options are the Atlanta Screenwriters Anonymous, which is a group that I visited already. The second one is the Atlanta Screenwriters Group, which actually meets at Georgia State, my school. I knew this, but I never made it to the meeting because I don't know where they are. They don't have their location listed. But I sent an email, and hopefully they'll tell me where this mysterious meeting takes place soon. And also, Women in Film and Television has a screenwriters group. And Women in Film and Television, you actually have to be a member of that organization to attend that screenwriters group. But since, well, actually, I think my membership expired. Uh-oh. I need to renew that. But, okay, so those are some local groups here in Atlanta. Please feel free to send me more if you know of more here in Atlanta as well. Also, college students, check with your school. There may be one on campus that you don't even know about. Besides that Atlanta Screenwriters Group meeting, there's also a Georgia State Film Club, and they meet, I believe, once a month at the GSTV newsroom. I went to a couple meetings of that last year while I was still a Georgia State student, and it was good. It was informative. It was orderly and great opportunity for feedback. Though people are not that willing to share in that meeting. I don't know why. I don't know. So another good opportunity for screenwriters to get out in the world outside of their world of 1 or 2 if you're a screenwriting team is to go to events about film and TV. So I actually went to an event that was hosted by SCAD called ATV Fest. ATV Fest was awesome. It was such a great opportunity. Just hearing all of the writers, the producers, and the directors share their stories about the process they go through to get a show made is phenomenal. And I actually had an opportunity to interview 3 of the actors on a new Fox TV show called Backstrom. It was fun. One of them is fairly popular. His name is Thomas Dekker. He was on the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles show. I know I just said that all out of order. The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Okay. Which is a prequel to the Terminator. Well, actually, it's not really even a sequel, but a prequel. That story timeline is so jigsawed. Anyways, he plays young John Connor. That's just what I will say about him. And then the other 2 actors that I met with were, oh my gosh. Really. Oh, Paige Kennedy and Christopher Palomo, which I'm still having a little bit of difficulty with his last name. They are the nicest guys, man. I had a really great time interviewing with them, and I literally found out that somebody wanted me to interview them at 4 o'clock, and the interview was set for 6. Do you see my face right now? But it was a great opportunity, and sometimes the power of yes can lead to phenomenal things. From that experience of doing that interview, I got a free pass to go to the whole rest of ATV Fest. It was awesome. I actually got to interview, you see my face right now, I actually got a chance to interview John Ridley, screenwriter of 12 Years a Slave and current writer-director of American Crime, which will be coming on ABC in about 2 weeks. But I've already seen the first 2 episodes during the screening event and panel. Socialize with people whose work you can align your own work up to. Someone who has a similar writing style from you on a TV show or script writing style. You really write dark drama. Maybe you should go find one of the writers on the following, if that's your thing. And I've been doing that with a couple of well-known writers and directors in the US, and I'm starting to get some feedback, and it's a good feeling. I've been doing it for a long time, like before the blog, like my last spring semester is when I started hitting that up really hard and establishing my brand online. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm just now starting to see some sort of feedback from that, and I think that probably has something to do with the fact that I finally got to 200 followers. Like, somebody's actually listening to what I'm saying online. But another great resource is from Stephanie Palmer. Stephanie Palmer's on Twitter. She has a website. I have decided to share John Ridley's beautiful comments that he gave me on the screenwriting process. Basically, that is the end for me